We count them. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights! And it is for 30 laps at Silverstone. Go, go, go! So great start there from Cody Lawrence. He's absolutely booked it out of there at the start of this one. It's Shane O'Neill in second. Somebody's gotten it wrong in the background. Not too sure who it was, but there's your top three. All shuffling through. Ben Ford, Baxter, Mazuzzo, all going through. We count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 5 lights, and it is go, go, go for Indianapolis. They all race to 1. And oh, there's a big crash already in the back before they get into the braking zone. Lots of lockup. One person spins, one gets collected. They didn't get that far from the line. Couple of them cut the course. That's one of the Saubers up there. It's already gone off, and we've just got started. So Cody Lawrence leads off the United States Grand Prix, followed by Buttafuoco. Baxter's got up to 3rd, Juho's to 4th. But there's a lot of drivers. Oh, Danny's one of them. That's one of the Williams. I think there may have been his teammate. Also, there's more trouble in the background there. And that's one of the Saubers getting it wrong. One of the newcomers here in CMRSC. So it's all kicked off here for the United States Grand Prix. Juho's got it wrong in the hairpin. Oh, and he was running there. Oh, and there you see Ruben Ryan was drifting through there. Here we go, David Costa to the inside of the Sauber. Ruben Ryan shuffles in and out. Maybe 3 wide here on the bankings already. Shades of GT3 at Indy back in February. What a fight this is. Costa looks like he may be backing out. No, he's still side by side with Andrew Ruben Ryan. Ruben Ryan knows very well the high bankings at Indy, and he's going to be able to muscle his way through. He's into 12th, stays 12th. Costa has to fight for another day. Behind him, the Brazilian of Anderson Baiano, also trying to fight hard. That's an amazing battle between these 2 competitors. 3 competitors, I should add. Costa to the inside. A little bit of grass to pick up. Ruben Ryan still fighting hard between them. And Ruben Ryan holds on to 12th position. Costa's going to have the slipstream, though. Is he going to move to the inside? He is going to move to the inside. Aggressive move. Oh, and Baiano almost running into the rear. Heavy lockup. Steinberg as well, getting it wrong. He's down. Dominic Mazuzzo on the slipstream of the Renault of Eamon Nasseir. Side by side into 1. It's muscling between each other. Fair space. Maybe a little bit of tires bumping into each other, but Eamon is not going to make it easy for Dominic Mazuzzo. Trouble for the Jordan. Or the Jag, I should say. My apologies. As this battle continues and both of them improve a position. Eamon defending, but he's gone a bit wide. Nothing for Mazuzzo can be done. Mazuzzo can take it wide. Swing it to the inside. It's lap 6 only of 38, and they're really kicking it off here. Now in the McLaren here as they enter the end of this straight into the hairpin sections. Easy chance to dive one up the inside, but if I was Mazuzzo, I'd save my energy till we get to the high bankings. 1 corner to go as we get on them right now. Want to get a perfect exit. He does so. Eamon able to squirm his way through. He's a little bit quicker. But here we go. You're going to see the reeling in. Pick your poison. Where do you want to go? Inside once again for Dominic, and this time by Dominic Mazuzzo. Gets the move done. Second time's the charm. And oh, look at that. Oh, Crawford trying to get himself right out the way. Has to stick wide. He does so. Now take a look at the front pack here. Cody Lawrence, Daniel Buttafuoco in. Cody, however, a way quicker stop. He may have only gotten fuel, because that gap is very big. I could be incorrect there by saying that. But they both come out with both on mediums. So actually, no, they did both change compounds. Sindici leads this one, but Cody not able to pull off his tricks with his pit stop moves. Under yellow. So this time we're going to have a very interesting battle between the two. And Tommaso's going to have, lap cars as he's actually gone a little bit deep. The back end has lost him. Pressure now. Here comes the Renault. Eamon going to try to go through on the inside. No, it's way too deep. The back end just stepping out way too much for him. Not going to work on this time by. On the back. Gap 3/10, so we're going to see a surprise dive, maybe. Eamon looked for it, did not go for it. Oh, but too much curb on the rear end. And Tommaso struggling with this car. A wide entry. And a close exit for Eamon. One corner till they're on the back straight. They want to both nail this one as best as they can. They do so. Here we go, big chance for a move here. The Ferrari up the road has to get out the way very soon. 371 kilometers, pulls to the outside. Crawford's gonna get out the way as soon as possible, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Sindici takes too much curb. Eamon wins that duel. Here we go, final lap for Cody Lawrence. And oh, look at that, snap of oversteer there. Lawrence also sets the fastest lap of the race. But this battle getting heated here. We'll visit Lawrence in just a moment. But what a fight this is turning out to be. Mazzucco a little far behind. He'll have one lap to go after this one, if he can close up this gap. But Trividi going a little bit wide on the first hairpin. The second one, it's nose to tail for a moment. Here we go. On to the banking again. Gap is 3/10. We'll visit them in just a moment. But for the driver behind, Cody Lawrence has done it all. He was 5 for 6 in the 2025 Formula One World Championship. But Cody Lawrence is going to take 2 titles this year. And Cody Lawrence is champion of the world. He wins it at Indy. Botafuoco will take second in this one, and just a little bit far behind, it's going to be Eamon. We have some battles to look at. It's far from over. I'm trying to look for them. And there you go. There it is, side by side. On the middle straight. It's very close between them. Mazzucco still unable to get through, but he's got the outside of the hairpin section. The McLaren fighting its way. The Jordan muscling its way. Too much curve for Dominic. All or nothing, Dominic Mazzucco. Here we go. Late on the entry. Too wide for Trividi. This may be a photo finish at the line. Dominic Mazzucco against Trividi at the line. Who's it gonna be? They're banging at Indy. Who's it gonna be? Give it to the Jordan. He's able to hold on. Dominic cannot do it. And on his debut, Trividi to 6th. Eamon finishes up in 3rd. P4 will go to Sindici. P5, Trividi. P6 will be Dominic Mazzucco. P7, Costa. 8th, Steinberg. But Cody Lawrence has done it. Cody Lawrence is champion. He is champion. He's done it. He's done it again. He's champion. CMRSC's 2000s Grand Prix Championship. It's all his. It's all his. Welcome back to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, and it is time now for the final round of the championship. The points may already be scored when it comes to who's taking it, and that man is Cody Lawrence. So we're in out here for a fun one for the Japanese Grand Prix. Light is out. It's green here for qualifying. 15 minutes, and we're going to see who is going to be taking this top step for the final time. But welcome to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. It is the finale here of the 2000s Grand Prix Championship. And with that, it's the dawn of the Caribbean Motor Racing Championship coming up next week out. It's going to be one you do not want to miss out, but this is it. One more round to go here at Suzuka. And, well, the drivers all getting ready here for this one. Let's go swap over to our drivers up at the top. So, Regan Milana leads them off. We haven't seen too much of Regan throughout this championship, so happy to see him back for one of the final rounds. 12 concurrent viewers. First and foremost, let's swap over to the green screen here because I just want to say a massive thank you to the community here in Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. Hitting 2,000 subscribers. It's absolutely insane. Thank you so much. Just last week, we celebrated 4 years of CMRSC, and 4 years ago, we did not expect to hit this milestone. Thank you so much for all the support, whether you're a driver or a fan, liking the streams and liking all the action here. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Here, from myself, Rahul, Nasseir, at Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. But it's now time we really focus on these drivers here. And now let's watch onboard with Regan Milana into 2. Accelerating out, keeping it in 3rd gear, and then snaking through here, keeps it 4th gear, downshift. Do we see him hold on to 4th? Some drivers may be downshifting into 3rd. Holding on to it, and then desperately want to get back on the throttle, and you do so perfectly. And now as we race into the 2 Degnas, the first one, little lift, second one, hard onto the brakes. Use all the curb on the exit, and then we head up to the hairpin, get as wide as possible, break in a straight line, down to 1st gear, middle of the corner, accelerate right out, let the traction control do all your homework. Now as we start to race into the spoon curve section, we get a nice slipstream from the car ahead. Looks like that's Guyana in the Sauber. You don't want to touch the AstroTurf on the outside. Very dangerous, but you just want to keep the wheel turning left and left and left, and then it opens up for you, accelerating out and racing down on the back straight as we head into the famous 130R. Are we going to see some overtakes around here? It's going to be pretty epic if we do. It's a complete flat-out section for one Regan Milana. Casio triangle chicane to go. And just like that, that is a lap time here around Suzuka. And the drivers are going to be chasing down a 129, a 169. Next up, it's Dominic Mazzuzzo to come across. And can he take down that lap? Yes, he can in the McLaren. 128, 704. The next drivers who come across the line going to be very shortly. Here they come. And there's Steinberg, who goes up to 3rd. Next up in line was the Honda of Jaden Neal. But looks like he's going to take the one into the pits. One of the BMWs also not happy with his lap. That's Michael entering into the pits. Who is next to come around Casio Triangle? Here we go. There is Layla, the Italian, to the line. And she puts herself to 4th, quickly taken down by Parker. And Parker's going to go up to 8th. And who else do we have up next to come across the line here? We're only waiting. The next driver to come across, Danny Nasseir. And he puts a lap time up to 4th. So very interesting first laps around here. But I think one of the top contenders are going to be very excited for. There's one of them in the Renault, Eamon Aspear. Great momentum coming off the previous round. And there you see him putting down a great lap there. One driver who, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see in qualifying here is Mark Crawford, serving a penalty, unfortunately. So it puts him at a qualifying ban in this one. But as it stands right now, it is the McLaren of Dominic Mazzuzzo who holds on to provisional pole. Oh, and Baiano touches the grass and the gravel on the outside. Will ruin his momentum. Will complete a lap, but not the lap he wanted to complete in that fashion. Here comes Jaden Neal now. He'll be beginning a lap, so we'll return to him very soon. Let's stick on board with champion here, Cody Lawrence. letting through Regan Milana. And Cody Lawrence looking to go 5 for 5 to become the first driver in CMRC history to sweep a championship. He is going for history numbers here today. We've never seen it before, a 5-round championship. We've had series before, 4 and 5 rounds, 3 rounds even in the very beginning of CMRC, but we've never seen a driver sweep, and this is a respectable amount of rounds. It's the average we see here. It looks like Cody Lawrence is not on the complete flyer lap. We did see Matthews Parker go up to 3rd. Now his teammate takes him down, so the 2nd row belongs to Team Renault. As the top driver now, Regan Milana, takes back his provisional pole. Let's find out where Dominic Mazzuto is. Looks like he's now on another outlap, so we're not going to see him on a flyer this time by to see what he can do. Behind him, however, Jaden Neal. He set purple in the 1st and 2nd sector. And now he's just got Cassio. Chicane to go. Hard on the brakes. No lockup. Great exit. Beautiful exit, in fact. And he's gained so much on his Delta that he's going to come across a line and take provisional pole 27.487. Interesting to note, the American has been fastest all week long. And he's going quicker. So, what does that mean for the likes of the others? And interestingly, Lawrence has taken it back to the pits. Not happy with the setup, potentially. Right in. So, continuing on this final qualifying session of this championship, we also have some viewers in the chat to say hi to. Welcome. We also see one there. Hello from Germany. Welcome, welcome. If you're in the sim racing space, especially in Germany, I think you're going to hear of a little league. Little is definitely an understatement. AC Friends. Fantastic league. Definitely check it out. And you might hear myself commentating from some of their events. But yes, welcome. And we hope you enjoy today's action here. And of course, it's not a big turnout, but nonetheless, we usually find ourselves with some of the best racing of the championship with a group that's a lot more smaller than we normally get, with double the crowd, with over 20 drivers. Next week out, we're done with F1, as Jaden Neal goes even faster, 27.1. He takes it to the pits. We head over to the Grand Prix of Miami. The Miami Grand Prix at Homestead, Miami. How many times are we going to say Miami in the same sentence? We head to the Roval at Homestead for the first round of the Caribbean Motor Racing Championship. As Anderson Mayano finally putting down a lap time of P7. It's a new championship coming up, GT4 Racing, starting at an earlier time slot in the day. Keep an eye out on our social media pages that are linked all in the description. Now, Cody Lawrence, not qualifying looking like. I think he wants a challenge on the back of the field. I mean, after all, he's won every single race. And maybe he's going to want to put himself with a little bit of a challenge, thinking that he might be able to walk through this field a little too easily. So, with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go, keep your eye on the stream here for this part of qualifying, as once we conclude it, that's where the racing and the real action begins, especially at the start here at Japan. It's always going to be a mix-up around here, especially through the early S's section. As you see Layla, getting it wrong, the rear end just not working out, taking it straight to the pits. And coming right back out, it looks like. Lawrence now coming back out on track. Looks like Cody Lawrence is just having a bit of fun, setting some personal laps here, and honestly just getting the car set up and not showing his true pace as Eamon gets right out the way. The conversations have been about lap traffic around here, especially after the previous run at Indy. It was very obvious that a lot of the leaders were not too keen on where lap traffic was placing their car. as we continue this qualifying session off. So I think drivers are going to be very wary about where they are on track. Welcome, Mr. Voldemort, Rodney. We are here. How's it going? Everything is going well. Honestly, we're very excited for next week out to start back the 2025, the 4th edition of the Caribbean Motor Racing Championship. And it's going to be GT4 racing. I'll show you all the trailers after the action here today. But we still have an amazing round to get to. Cody Lawrence, of course, he's the man who has taken the championship, and he's looking to make history today. So will we see it? He's going to make his life a bit difficult because right now he's not setting an official qualifying lap. And even by doing that, Layla and Crawford, of course, Crawford serving a penalty. Layla's struggling with the car, trying to figure out what's working with her. Either way, Jaden Neal, who was fastest all week long, continues the momentum. And looks like with this lap, might go even faster. Through Casio, chicane. 1 corner to go, and accelerating out. It's flat out to the left-hander. Hug the inside, race to the line, and that is not going to be improvement. 27.452, he's going to go at it again. Now, what do we say about the drivers behind? Regan Milana. Oh, he's on the bubble. Oh, no, he's gone wide. He was good in the first sector as Mazuzzo comes out to try to go for one more. Can we see Dominic Mazuzzo go for pole position? He was holding on pole for the early stages of this qualifying session. So still undecided what's going down here. Most importantly, who's going to take the front row? As it stands, it's Jaden Neal and Regan Milana. And we're about to see the man who's currently in P3, if he can do anything about this top contendership for pole position. Jaden Neal also going purple in the first sector. So let's return to Dominic Mazuzzo in a moment. And let's go back to this man here who's absolutely nailed it in the first sector. And now as he's on the back straight through Spoon Curve, he looks to be going even faster this time. Eamon Espear goes second, but it's going to be no match if Jaden Neal can land this lap time here. Second sector, 35.8. It's fastest overall. 2 corners to go for. Make that 1 corner. Make that just a flat out right-hander to go for Jaden Neal in the Honda. And he is going to go quicker. 27.086 in the Honda. He goes quicker and quicker in this one. Interesting to note, it wasn't the fastest. It wasn't the purple sector that he wanted in the 3rd sector, but it's provisional with 1:30 left to go in this session. The drivers hustle around to go for one final chance at it. And one of those drivers is going to be Regan Milana. He begins his lap. Final chance for these guys. Lap times are 1:27 fastest, so if you cross the line at this point, it's your last chance. Oh, and Regan getting a whiplash, and he's going to take it straight to the pits, knowing that there's no point in continuing this lap. So we head on over to the next driver here in contention for pole, and he's on an out lap. So we're going to see him next time by. Who's next? Dominic looks like he's also racing to the line to begin another lap. 42 seconds. It's going to be very close for him if he can make it. He's only at Spoon Curve. And oh, Eamon Espear hits the wall. And how did he hit the wall? He was very close to Layla. Is he going to go for one more? No, he takes it to the pits. And I wonder if Layla and Eamon got into each other, because Layla's going absolutely nowhere right now. Just absolutely struggling with the car. Not finding her ground here. And Miss Midnight Bloom really has to do a lot more work in this one. Luckily for Cody Lawrence, if that's your name, you're able to go out for it one more time. So eyes are going to be on him in this stage of this lap. Through the S section, flick it to the left-hander. To the right. And back to the left. Playing with the throttle, wait till you get it flat down, and he does so. And now with the McLaren, just needs one strong lap here, especially if he can get it onto the front row. And into the hairpin section now. Slowing down. First gear, slowest part of the track. And then right back out. Heading on to Spoon Curve. Accelerating 300 kilometers you hit just before you hit the braking zone. Keep turning and turning as the corner gets tighter, and then it just opens up once you rotate through. Back straight for Dominic Mizzuzzo, and he's just got 130R to navigate. And can he do it? Flat out, Casio chicane to go. A very tricky part. If you get it wrong here, you go a little too deep. Bounce with Dominic. He does a great job of keeping it clean. Can he take pole? Can he improve from fourth? He does, but he only goes to third. He's confident on the second row. And that's qualifying done. And Jaden Neal takes pole position here today with a 127.086, a dominant one, followed by Eamon Espear and Dominic Mizzuzzo. All right, great qualifying there. Congratulations, your top three, Jaden, Eamon, Dominic. We got a great race in store here. 28 laps, 2 minutes and 30 seconds until we get going here. Make sure you got your setup all going. And we don't have any newcomers here, so you all know the rules. So let's have fun out here. Last round of the championship. All points, of course, you earn goes towards your Race of Champions playoff spots. All right, we're going to get ready. Just before we do so, I'm going to grab myself a quick water, and we're going to get ready here. We're getting ready for racing. Don't go anywhere. We're getting ready for action here. 1 minute and 19 left to go. We're going to swap on over to our main screen in just a second. Get ready here for the final round of this championship. Who is taking the W here for this final round? So let's sound it off here. 1 minute 50 left to go. As Evan's saying, start is cooking. Ray in chat, let's go Dom. A lot of support for Dominic Mizzuzzo. "14 concurrent viewers, 30 seconds left to go." I think I've just gotten all my tabs organized there. Let's go through the grid real quick. So, it's Jaden Neal on pole, followed by Eamon Espear. Then it's Dominic Mizzuzzo, Regan Milano, Evan Steinberg, Matthews Parker, Anderson Baiano, Danny Nasseir, Michael, Cody, Layla, Mark. Let's sound it off. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. Let's sound it off for the final time because we go racing here in Japan. It's a great start from Jaden Neal as they head into turn 1 now. And followed up, it's the Renault of Eamon. In third, it's Dominic Mizzuzzo, the all single file. One of the Renaults goes off, and that's Matisse Parker gets it wrong. In the background, we also see a couple of the drivers trying to go through. One of them, his name is Cody Lawrence. He's got Regan Milano going left and right in front of him, trying to pick his poison. But in the front, it's Jaden Neal, who's quickly trying to escape from the pack. And behind him, you also see the drivers as they go through the Degnas. As it stands, it looks pretty clear from them. It's very unfortunate for Parker that he just got it wrong. Danny Nasseir's another one who may have gotten it wrong through the second Degna. He dives it down the inside, nowhere to go, but Anderson Baiano locks the rears, hits the wall, and he keeps going. So, through Spoon Curve for the first time of 28. It's still positions roughly not changed at all. And through Casio chicane and exiting out, we have some trouble. Michael has gotten it wrong, and he does so up the road. It's the Ferrari who's also had a bit of issues. He went deep. He's exiting out. He looks fine. He may have just touched the gravel on the outside when trying to brake for the corner. Luckily, he's able to keep going over for Cody Lawrence. Cody Lawrence in the wall out of turn one, and that is absolutely huge for Cody Lawrence. A rare mistake that we've never seen before. I know there's no pressure on him for a championship, but he's trying to make history, and that might be the kicker for him. Cody Lawrence goes down to 7th place. And that is absolutely huge, and if your name is anybody but Cody Lawrence, that means you have a chance at victory. Can you believe that? In this early goings of this race, one man who was very surprised of his qualifying position is Evan Steinberg, who looks to try to get the McLaren. In the background, look at Layla go. Miss Midnight Bloom trying to recover back some space here as Reagan goes a little bit deep, goes a little wide. Trouble for Parker, it looks like, potentially. And Anderson Baiano, and Parker takes it to the pits. Baiano goes through. Both of them had a bit of damage with each other. And side by side, Cody Lawrence right back on it. Cody's already gotten Layla through 130R. Next up, it's going to be Regan. To the outside, swap to the inside potentially. Here we go, side by side. On the front straight, Layla's tucking in behind Regan. Cody Lawrence to the outside, goes through. Layla also able to mug Regan Milana, so she's up to 6th. And it's a wonderful battle back here. Cody Lawrence has to put a bit of work now early on. Oh, and Layla hits the wall. And luckily, she can get right back going, but loses that position she just made up. So Dominic to 3rd still, and this battle still cooking up, and Cody Lawrence on him now. To the hairpin. No dive bomb. Cody's going to be smart about this one, knowing where he's got to place the car. Matisse Parker, our first retirement of this race as Michael gets it wrong through the Degnas. And he goes down to last place at this one. Here we go for Cody Lawrence. Easy as you like on the inside of the Escape 3 Racing X Show Me Your Heart car. Side by side is going to stay side by side through the Degna. Or should I say 130R, but it feels like a Degna of how tight it gets when you get flat out through there. Almost the same kind of quarter profiling. Nonetheless, though, Lawrence is up to 4th. Next up, it's Dominic Mazzuzzo. He's in a McLaren. And just like that, down the inside, no questions asked. Didn't even have time to talk about him for a moment. Cody Lawrence has just walked past about 4 cars in like, what, 2 laps? That's incredible pace from him so early on. Meanwhile, Evan has gone backwards. He's got a bit of damage on the rear end. He's battling Layla, trying to keep 6th. And also, down in the back, Danny Nasseir, BMW against Ferrari, battling for 8th place. And Danny this time by very quick. And, oh, is there trouble for somebody? A lot of positions being flipped up there for the moment on our timing screen. 21 concurrent viewers live here in CMRSC's race today here for the Japanese Grand Prix. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers as well. And we're still getting the party started here. It's only lap 4 of 28. And lots of battles to look on down the order. This one is very particular here. Danny Nasseir playing his cards as Crawford slides to the rear end. Not complying with him, he's gone wide. Jaden Neal sets the fastest lap of the race, trying to once again extend this gap, knowing that his competition is not necessarily aiming. It may have to be Cody Lawrence. Here we go to 130R. Little bit of a lift for Danny, but do we see him dive it down the inside? Senna-esque Prost style in 89. Not this time, by. And now he's going to have an opportunity on the front straight. Here we go. Almost side by side. Danny is not that close this time. So he's going to stay behind. He's going to try to find another way to get past. But as we get through the S section, it's going to get a lot more difficult for him to go through. A little bit of brakes. Trying to keep the car in one place, of course. And as we shuffle up the order now, we can also see this battle here as Steinberg still under pressure. Layla, Miss Midnight Bloom, has just gotten a bit closer this time by. And now they're going to be heading into Spoon Curve, and she's going to get a lot of slipstream, a lot of tow down this one. In the Cupra. A little bit of curb. Hard on the brakes, get it rotated, but for Layla, it's just too deep, too wide, and all that momentum is just down the drain. Jaden Neal, however, goes even faster, 28.482, another fastest lap in a row for him. And now into the chicane for the 6th time for these guys. It's still Steinberg who holds on. Layla, once again, just trying to keep this momentum up, trying to find the right momentum as well, importantly. So still trying to push on hard and looking for position, using all the exit curb now, going through the S section, looking for a way to pass, but at the moment right now, I think she's got to worry about closing this gap up first, because going wide, just a simple mistake will cost you tenths of a second. They'll ultimately lose you a battle and lose you another lap where you could be battling for another position that could greatly increase your chance at potentially a podium in this one. Oh, but in the grass again, another error there from Layla. Normally, it's the car ahead that is staring at the mirrors and making mistakes, but oh, in trouble, and it's even worse for Layla. 360 almost. Here comes Crawford at the Degnas, and Layla, just using too much curb, is going to find herself facing the wrong direction. And Steinberg is going to have a lovely buffer of 10 seconds. Jaden Neal, fastest lap again. Why don't we go on board? Let's see what a lap is like with him. What is he doing that is so different to the rest of them, especially Cody Lawrence? Cody, one of the drivers who is always taking the fastest lap point. This time by is struggling. Could be damage as well. Don't forget about that. Well, through the first section, it doesn't look like there's anything too special, just keeping the momentum up. Could be the intricate parts of the aero set up for him. Maybe getting some word from Matisse Parker. It looks like he's entering into the paddock pen. And it's unfortunate the guy in East retires out here in this last round of the championship. Actually, may not be able to get a word from him. But Jaden Neal, look at that. Stretching his car very wide and getting it turned in. Keeping his momentum. Also, another thing to actually note, I think it's fair to say that we're going to see another fastest lap for him. Jaden Neal. And Matisse has just sent a gif of what looks to be a car that is blown up. And he may have blown up the engine with that indication from us. So it's a bit of a shame that our first retirement comes so early on in this championship race. Oh, virtual safety car deployed, virtual safety car deployed. As Danny Nasseir and Anderson Baiano get tangled up. out of the Degna, and they go through, and virtual safety car comes on here for the first time in 2 races. It's been a while. So, it's a very unfortunate for Jaden Neal that in this early stage, his gap that he had built up so much, it's just gone down the drain. And, well, I have the same question as you. What was that? That's a great question. I'm looking back at the stream myself. Honestly, Baiano just turned in on the racing line when Danny was still there. So I'm not quite sure why he would do that when there was clearly a car still there. Maybe a spotter sleeping on him. Regardless, though, it's brought out the first caution. We haven't seen a caution in quite a while. It's going to allow some drivers to get some free repairs. And this is actually going to be one of the first times we're going to be seeing a VSC restart, potentially not led by Dominic Mazzuzzo, but I could be holding my tongue there. Let's keep an eye on those tire compounds, because there could be a chance that some drivers at the top could be swapping over. But first caution of the day, it's going to be a nice reset to the drivers. What do we have in chat? Evan's saying Cody is damaged because he got hit by Dominic right in front. He was in front of me, and that is what we didn't see. That's why we saw Cody Lawrence in the wall, so it looked like it was contact, and there was damage. So maybe that's also one of the reasons why Dominic was just not able to keep up with the front pack, and especially in the one. So I have a bit of a caution here. The first one. Hopefully it's not a many and we can get some proper racing. And let's take a look at pit entry. Is there anybody that's going to come in? It's going to be the top 3 that makes their way in. And, well, it continues. Dominic Mazzuzzo leads it. Oh, and Jaden Neal gets a drive-through for speeding. Jaden Neal, drive-through penalty. So as it stands right now, and also Eamon gets a drive-through for speeding. 2 drivers, second and first, have ruined their chances at keeping the front. That is huge. Danny Nasseir as well. It's 3 drivers. What has gone on in the pits? That is an absolute shocker. It's absolutely a shocker here, especially for Jaden Neal, leading and dominating, and he's just decided to, well, throw his lead early on. And indeed, there was some smoke in the start finish. I did see Mark Crawford locking up, but for Crawford, he's actually in 3rd. He doesn't have to worry about being a lap car. And for the first time, he's going to be starting so far up ahead. And for Danny Nasseir, he's actually made it around. I thought Danny got a drive-through for speeding. We're going to take a look at race control, and we're going to try to figure out what happened there. Do we have a word on a penalty, perhaps? Not quite sure. All right, we're probably 2 to go before green, 2 to go before green. So Dominic, you're free to keep that pace to 100 max, 100 max. And no, I'm not seeing any sort of penalties for anybody here on my screen. But there are drive-through penalties for Eamon and Jaden. And, well, because Danny's so far behind in general, because remember, he was in that incident there, he's going to be able to come back around, but by the time he does so, the drivers are going to be at the start-finish line. We need everybody packed up, so it's going to allow some of the guys who got a drive-through to take it this lap. And what is going on here? What is Cody doing? Cody kind of going backwards, potentially. Maybe just getting out the way. So, looks like we're gonna have one more to go here. And actually, looks like Danny has caught up, but we're way too late in the lap. So the drivers are gonna have one more go around under yellow. It's gonna allow them to unlap themselves. Evan saying in chat, lost so many places because I missed my pit box and had to reverse towards it. So that's a bit unfortunate for him. Ooh, Danny entering the wrong spot on the entry there. Danny pit entry is just a bit ahead. It's just after the final turn, so the route you just went through, you don't have to take it. So what you're looking at past your left, that's pit entry. So just keep that in mind. And Danny Nasseir taking the Nicholas Latifi line, is what I'd say. Eamon in, Jaden Neal not taking this drive-through. I thought he had a drive-through penalty. So Eamon, you shuffle down to 10th. And Danny's also going through. So we're going to go green at the end of this lap. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that Jaden Neal has a drive-through penalty. I could be wrong. I'm going to review back the footage here. And yeah, pit lane was not used yet. Definitely use the Nicholas Latifi line for that pit stop there. I won't deny that. So I did see somebody mention in chat that one of the Ferraris did overtake two cars and he let himself back through. So it was reviewed and no action is going to be done there from that. And yeah, we're free to continue. All right, so just checking our side here. Once again, yes, we will be going green at the end of this lap. Please note that there are, I think there's one driver still left to make a drive-through penalty. Make sure you do so as soon as possible. I believe that may be Jaden Neal, who still needs to make a drive-through for speeding in the pits. Oh! Regan Milana just decided to sink through the ground. But Jaden, if you have already taken that drive-through penalty, just ignore that call. Also just noticed that Regan has just disappeared from our screen. I'm not too sure if he's disconnected. All right, Dominic, you control the pace. That was very interesting there. I just saw Regan Milana sink through the ground, and he's not on our timing board. It doesn't even say he's in the session anymore. But we're gone and we're green. Dominic Mazzuzzo gets a lovely jump from Mark Crawford, and we're back, and we're going and we're racing. Milana retires after that one. I'm not too sure what happened to him, but it's green, green, green here at Suzuka. Lot of drivers not following on the jump there, and one of those you see the Sauber, who absolutely was probably just not paying attention at the start and is going to get mugged off the beginning here. Jaden Neal goes through. And looks like we also might see the Renault of Eamon also might be able to charge through. But in the foreground, it's going to be, oh, there's trouble for, oh, we just swapped away from Anderson Baiano. He gets going. Something went wrong for him there, but the Ferrari of Mark Crawford is going to be delighted, as well as Michael in the BMW. Oh, but he goes a little bit deep in the grass. Cody Lawrence leads this train off of faster drivers trying to get through on Michael. Round the outside, it's going to be very close, 2 by 2. Jaden Neal behind, Layla going wide. Big opportunity for Jaden to potentially go through. Side by side as they head into Spoon Curve. The Honda against the Cupra, who's going to be the first of the late breakers. Looks like it's the Honda going through. Michael goes a little bit deep. Cody Lawrence goes through the third. And Layla struggling behind, trying to find a way to go past these guys. Side by side, BMW and Honda. It's going to get tight here. It's also 2 by 2 in the back. Still side by side, Jaden Neal not trying to go through. It looks like the Renault's gone way too deep. Eamon's gone deep. Jaden Neal takes avoiding maneuvers to get through on Eamon. It's not that nice of Eamon. He's gone way too deep, and his rejoin was not good at all. They go through. Cody Lawrence goes to second as well on the Ferrari. And then in the back, Eamon trying desperately to go through on Layla. That's going to be looked at, but Layla's going to go a little bit wide there, sliding the rear end on the marbles, and Eamon goes to 5th. A lot of stuff going down there. Jaden Neal gets his drive-through taken, and he's good to go for this one. Dominic Mazzuzzo leads this one. We're getting word from Regan. Yeah, he disconnected. Yeah, we saw it. He just crashed out the session and just went under the map, and oh, trouble! Trouble for the BMW! We're not getting word it was anything to do with Eamon, though, even though Eamon went through. It looks like there was damage on Layla and Michael. However, Layla, who's gone through, she should be fine. I don't think she may have caught up into that incident, maybe brushed the BMW. So, as it stands right now, couple drivers already coming through around this time in terms of pit stops. Oh, Danny's got it wrong. Who else? That was Anderson Baiano again? Getting word from Race Direction, it said he had an incident with Danny Nasseir. So it may have to be investigated at the end of this session. Didn't see it live. And they're already tussling up well, and look at that. Jaden Neal's already on the rear of Danny. And now into the braking zone through Casio. And Jaden get a move here to the outside. Drag race. And Neal looks like he's going to be able to go to 9th. Is Danny going to fight? No, he doesn't. So Jaden Neal runs up another position. He's on the back foot for this one with this drive-through. Never took his drive-through under yellow. Very interesting. Maybe he didn't know he had one. Lock up there for Cody Lawrence. The gap is 3 seconds on lap 13. We also have Eamon, who's now arrived to the scene for P3. Potentially a chance. As you see him, he's once again, just like in America, doing the no steering wheel stride, and he's gonna go deep. Just probably dirty air from him. Here comes Layla. Layla goes a little too deep as well, not able to capitalize on that mistake. Also saw that Jaden Neal getting another position, this time on Steinberg. On board now with Miss Midnight Bloom and Layla trying to charge on for 4th place. In a championship where it's not really gone her way, especially after the amazing momentum after TCR. But as it stands, still very close between these two. Take a look at this. Evan Steinberg now chasing down Imrenberger. So Michael onto 8th, and Steinberg's in a dance. His Escape 3 machine. But it's a very difficult spot around this part of the track, and as that stands, it was 2 seconds earlier on between Mazzucco and Lawrence. But just like that, I didn't notice that Cody Lawrence is in the lead of this Japanese Grand Prix. I saw the gap at 2 seconds. We were going to swap to it earlier, but Lawrence has gotten the move done before we could even watch him. So he's going to continue his momentum in the lead. Meanwhile, Eamon gets through finally on Crawford. And that's going to be done and dusted for him. Jaden Neal next up. He's going to be looking to get Baiano. If he was watching the stream, maybe he is watching the stream, he potentially needs to worry about this overtake and needs to get this one really safe. Maybe there could be some broken mirrors on that salver up ahead. Lock up there into Casio. Potentially could be locking up those and flat spotting those tires, but on the front straight now. And the legs on that Sauber able to hold on to the first attack here from Jaden Neal as Crawford entering in for his mandatory pit stop that they must make a tire change under green flag conditions. And look at Jaden shuffling his way through the S section, nose to tail, and maybe a good angle to try to get a move here to the Degnas. And through the second part, this is where the caution came out last time by. To the outside he goes, and almost looked like Baiano just let Neal through unless he was defending, but defending from that part of the circuit, flat out there. I'm not too sure if he realized that it's just not worth battling Jaden Neal, knowing that he's just way quicker and they might as well just let him through. But nonetheless, though, we're still in a race, and Jaden Neal is going to take that P5. Sweeties, you like it. Next up, it's 2.7 seconds to get to Layla just up the road as she's now entering through to 130R. And up the road, it's still Cody Lawrence who dominates this race. That's it. The only way Jaden Neal has got a chance is if there's another caution. Layla enters in, so easy position for Jaden. But that just begs the question, why didn't Jaden Neal come in for his drive-through penalty? The driver's all running with a real penalty, which essentially is a stewarding app that the drivers can see on their screens. Clear as day, got a drive-through penalty. Eamon took his with the free opportunity he could, but Jaden Neal didn't, and unfortunately it's kind of robbed us of a potential chance where we could have seen Jaden Neal and Cody Lawrence fight, unless Jaden knew what he's doing here, and there's an interesting strategy going on with this one, as looks like Michael now coming out of the pits. Gonna be an easy overtake there for Crawford, and the Ferrari is gonna go through onto 9th. But yes, it just begs the question, why didn't Jaden Neal come in? Did he not know he had a drive-through? But if he did, and this is some sort of strategic play, that's an interesting one. We'll see how far it gets to him. Currently, right now, he currently sits 4th, but some of them still need to make mandatory stops, of course, and Mazzucco is coming in for his pit stop. So from P2, lands in his box, and the team can do the work. Tires on, off fuel, and just like that, he is going to... No, it's a long stop. It's a very long stop for Dominic. Gets back going. That is a very, very interesting stop there. It should have been definitely a lot quicker. Maybe fueling for the very end. There's 12 laps remaining here in this Japanese Grand Prix. So maybe trying to go for a long stint. Mazzucco's on hard compound tires. So could that explain anything there? Just to put into reference, he started this race on mediums. As Steinberg now comes in for his stop, and I think he's already exiting out his pit box. And so service already complete on his car. And, well, started on mediums in this one as he swapped back onto mediums. Oh, trouble for Layla, however. Getting it wrong through the S section. but getting back going. So Steinberg onto hards. Now for the remainder of this race. 17 of 28. Now 18 of 28. 11 to go. And looks like Cody Lawrence may be able to make history here. Going for the sweep. And he's really pushing this one all the way here. Jaden Neal coming around. And still not coming in for a tire change. Maybe just waiting. But even then, if a caution were to come out, it's going to ruin his chances at a legal pit stop. So it begs the question, what is Jaden's plan? Especially the fact that he's probably racing Dominic Mazuzzo for this one. You see, Neil just going through the S section. Mazuzzo is now going to be entering this lap from where they are right now. It'll be very close on pit exit. But the more that gap closes up with Dominic on those hard tires and Jaden on those older mediums, it's going to be very close to see what goes down. But nonetheless, though, it's still close racing down the board. I think we've gotten to that point where a lot of drivers are a little bit far apart from each other because strategies and pit stops still very much going through. And so Mazuzzo, I think he's just got to hit his marks now and make these hards work. Here we see Anderson Baiano coming around through here and exiting out. It's Lawrence now comes in for his pit stop. Has he already made the stop? Looks like he has. And Eamon now is going to take the lead of this one. And there's Jaden Nealon. Now coming through, but behind Cody Lawrence. So let's see if Jaden can put a bit of pressure on Lawrence, your current race leader, after pit stops. And actually, you know what? If Jaden can stay out for a couple more laps, especially with Lawrence on hard tires, we're getting a preview of what this race, battle for the race win, could have looked like. That's if Jaden Neal doesn't come in, but let's see what this looks like. Is Jaden Neal quicker than Cody Lawrence? It's a question I think we're only going to be able to get this answer right now. How many laps can those medium tires hold on for? Because we are all in for a battle. On the back straight, and he's in the slipstream. Lawrence may be in trouble here. 130R, he lifts to Casio. Does he dive it down the inside? No, he backs out. Through the Casio chicane, and just like that, I don't think we're going to find out what a true Lawrence Neal battle will look like. I think that was the most we're going to get out of this championship. Neal's going to come in, put some work on his car, in for his stop, and looks like he's gotten a gap that he opened up very well because Mazuzzo's pretty far behind. Baiano also comes in. And yeah, he was able to extend that gap. He's clearly way faster on those mediums. So now exiting out on track, Jaden Neal on hards now, going to the very end. We're 9 laps remaining. Dominic now comes around and, well, he's got some work to do. Where is the Sauber? There he is, exiting out the pits, but Mazuzzo goes through, and Baiano will be shuffled down to 5th. Another pit stop here, this time for Danny Nasseir. It's probably his 3rd stop here in this race, 3rd time visiting the pit lane. Great shot here from the lovely virtual crowd who's joined us here. It's getting a little bit dark out there. I don't think there's a chance of rain. The sky is still looking very much clear. But Eamon still needed to make his pit stop in this race, and he's now going to do so. Needs to put on the brakes, though. Has he done it? I think he's good. he looks to be fine. So, Cody Lawrence comes around the final corner to take the lead. Jaden Neal, however, on the back straight. How far is this battle going to look? Eamon is going to be under pressure. His pit crew is going to be under pressure. He's now exiting out. Neal now coming around. And Eamon back on track, back and going. And game on. Jaden Neal has got, what's the final gap we're looking at? Seven seconds. So this is it. Jaden Neal against Eamon Nasseir. Two drivers very quick, but in the early stages it belonged to Jaden. But with a 6-second buffer now, 6.3 even, Neal could potentially have a chance here. That's not to say this race is over yet. There still could be cautions that come down here. Regan saying in chat, the biggest what if for me indeed. Regan, you were very quick. You were about to restart this race at the top spots. And considering everything that went down throughout this early stage, could have been in a chance for potentially a podium or maybe a race win. A lot of what-ifs in motorsport, that's for sure. But once again, Lawrence comes across the line to now have 7 laps to go. And it's been a while since he's been in the midst of lap traffic or anybody in this race, and Lawrence is finally going to catch himself some lap cars. That could potentially slow his progress. Meanwhile, 4.8 between Jaden and Eamon. Eamon's going to have to really put his elbows out if he's got a chance. But here we go, first car to come up. Michael Limburger. And we'll need to get off the racing line as soon as possible here. He's under a second. And Lawrence is, well, he's got a great big gap here as, Layla Trouble, and she's off the circuit. Gets back going. And Michael. So blue flags Michael, blue flags Michael. Maybe to the inside. Here we go. So, Michael definitely needed to let that car through well before Spoon Curve, as the gap was definitely under a second between the two. And, well, maybe just a learning curve. He was asking a lot about how to be a better car under lap traffic. And the community, of course, pitched in and helped and gave their opinions on some great advice, even from last week out. But it's just one of those learning curves that I think a driver's got to go through if you're completely unfamiliar with being in lap traffic there. But regardless, though, still one to learn, but it has not hampered Cody Lawrence's lead. Next driver up, it's Danny Nasseir. Meanwhile, the gap for Jaden is coming down 3 seconds, now 2.8. Lawrence is going to have a bit of fun here. Not the best of traffic. A little bit further ahead, though, is Danny Nasseir. It's definitely over a second and a half. So not having to resort to lap traffic just yet, but as they head into the Spoon Curve now, this is where he's going to have to let him through. And Danny is going to get right out the way. I think he was going to try to head off the racing line. As this one continues here, Jaden Neal, we put our eyes on him. This is your battle for second place. Jaden on the exit of pits. The gap was about 9 seconds. But with a lot of pushing and really, really stressing these tires out. He's on it. 6 laps to go. Make it 5 once they come across the line. It's 1.6 seconds. And we're going to find out who's taking second place here. In for this final time. On the front straight, gap is 1.4 seconds the difference. And you're going to look at that delta there just flashing green. And that green is what you want to be in. 23 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in to this final part. Oh, and Eamon makes a mistake. Eamon makes a mistake. And we're not going to get the battle. Jade and Neil will get second place. Simple as you like. And that for him is going to be simply lovely. Eamon has just gone deep and lost the back end, maybe. Whatever it may be, he's just lost himself second. And a battle we thought we were going to have has just been taken away from us. And I'm not too sure what happened to Eamon. No idea. Oh, he's gone deep again. Fighting the car, potentially. And what could have been a second place in this race. Yeah. Great word. Gifted. Coming to the end of this one. Well. Jaden Neal. Well, 24 seconds and 5 laps. I mean, he could pull a miracle if he wins that one. That would be interesting. But Cody Lawrence is going to have to get into another incident. But Cody's just got one word in his mind. History. He wants to create a legacy here in CMRSC. He's very much done so in the open wheel scene. But he is someone who's looking for a great chance at being the first driver in CMRSC history, in the 4-year history, and 26 championships in CMRSC. Over 30 championships concluded. We've had series and championships and all throughout the years. We've never had a driver dominate every single round. And Lawrence, he's already claimed the championship last time out. Buttafuoco was the driver to try to stop him, but couldn't do so. This time by Cody Lawrence is looking for history and something that probably will not be topped in a very long time with this era of CMRSC and the competitiveness is Steinberg lets through Lawrence. Another easy part for him. He's going for it. And it's going to be huge if he can come across the line in P1 at the end of this race. Job's not done, though, for the rest of the pack. Anderson Baiano's a driver to look out for. He is 2.7 seconds. He was 2.5 early on. His gaming chair must be magnificent indeed. Would love to wonder what makes the difference between Cody Lawrence and the rest of the pack, but I think sometimes in these races you could clearly see it. It's not just about pace, but sometimes it's about the patience. It's just about being smart and picking your battles. That's what we saw early on in the 2025 F1 World Championship. We have heard word that Cody Lawrence may return. It's a strong rumor in the paddock that Lawrence may return for GT4. For historians here, for CMRSC, you may remember Cody Lawrence never debuted in an open wheel championship. He debuted in a GT4 championship last year. Why? One of our rounds was Portland International Raceway in America, his home track. Oh no. In the gravel and in the wall is Layla. And trying to get back going on the track. She may lose a spot here to P7. Going to P8, Danny's coming up fast. Heavy front damage. Oh, and no, and there is suspension damage as well. Needs to nurse it back to the pits, but meanwhile, Anderson Baiano's Cody Lawrence takes the fastest lap, finally taking the fastest lap for himself. Baiano, with a drive of his life, trying to go for a P4. Remember, he finished 4th place back in the Spanish Grand Prix due to penalties. But this time, he's going to try to do it on merit, on pure pace. He's got 2 laps to do so. And Jaden Neal's going to take back the fastest lap, saying you're not going to have the full dominant race here today. Anderson Baiano, a driver that we've seen come through the ranks. He's been with us for so long. We've never seen him battle this hard, and looks like it. He may have a chance to Casio. Side by side, and we're going to take it to the skies for this one. When will Dominic Mazzucco get a break from photo finishes? Here we go, and Anderson Bayo's gonna go around the outside, a la Kimi Raikkonen at Suzuka years ago. And Anderson is gonna go through. Job's not done though. Dominic Mazzuto's not gonna leave this one without a battle. But final lap for Cody Lawrence. We may be getting ourselves another grandstand finish here. It was at Indy against Trevini and Mazzuto. Now this battle gets intense. Into the hairpin, Baiano defends brilliantly. And now exiting out. But that gap is opening up. Whatever is on the setup of Anderson Baiano is just working for him. And Dominic Mazzuto was a championship contender back in the 2025 F1 championship. Trying to fight back for fourth. But looks like it's going to be even tougher to get back through. Dominic's going to have to push all the way. He's clipped the curb. Layla, meanwhile, looks like, oh, she's found herself even through more trouble. But as for this man, Cody Lawrence, well, let's talk about his championship reign. In round one at Sepang, he took victory. In round two at Barcelona, he took victory. He took his hat trick at Silverstone. He took the fourth round last week at Indianapolis. And now Cody Lawrence has swept a championship. Cody makes history. He's not only a champion, he's on for the record books. Cody Lawrence has swept the 2000s Grand Prix Championship. What a delight it is. Job's not done yet for the rest of the pack. Because Dominic Mazzuto has a chance once again at the hairpin section. Can he pull it around the outside move here? It's very close. Jaden Neal finishes up in a respectable second place. Eamon's going to come around for third. This is the battle we're all going to talk about here for fourth, though. Through Spoon Curve. Dominic trying to get a wide entry and exit out onto the back straight. Slip straight, but oh! What? What, Dominic? Contact! Oh, he's run out of fuel! Anderson Baiano! I think he ran out of fuel. He has! Oh my goodness! He couldn't make it to the end! That is absolutely huge! Dominic Mazzuto robbed of a grandstand finish, but Mazzuto's gonna take fourth. I think he's gonna be like, what the hell just happened? Heartbreak! Absolute heartbreak for Baiano. He takes it to the pits with his head low after that one. That is a monumental ending to this one. He's run out of fuel at the line, before the line. It's on the back straight. But this man, Cody Lawrence, has not only taken victory, he's taken the whole championship by storm. He wins it here at Suzuka. Who can stop Cody when he's in an open wheel machine? What a race it was for him. Starting from the back. Let's get a bit of action, shall we? Some donuts here in Japan. Even Eamon's here to celebrate with him. Has he run out of fuel as well? Oh, he has. Cody Lawrence ran out of fuel there. Excuse me. So Cody makes history here today. Let's go talk to the drivers at what an incredible race it was here at Suzuka. And just like that, it comes to the conclusion here for the 2000s Grand Prix Championship. History is made. Cody Lawrence not only takes victory here, He has now taken victory at every single round in this championship, and in our 4 years of CMRSC history, we have never seen a driver quite like you. Cody Lawrence, you take victory and you sweep the championship, putting your name in the history books for good. How does that one feel?
You know what? After lap 2, I wasn't thinking that was going to be the reality of the day. Just had some damage after the contact with Dominic, and needed a safety car to get back into it. Got the safety car that I needed, but it kind of took some of the jeopardy out of it in the end, I suspect. But try to give it my best. I mean, what happens, and thankful enough to take the win today, so can't complain.
Now, one incident that we weren't able to see live, we saw you in the grass and in the wall, and at that point, that's where we thought there may not be a chance that you could take this victory, especially with the pace of Jaden Neal ahead. Take us through what went down there.
Well, I tried to go around the outside of 1 to Dominic, and I thought I'd given enough space to not have any collision, and I mean, I'm not gonna the word deceives me right now, apologies, but I don't know what happened. I need to see it. It's just really odd.
I think we're losing him.
Yeah, I had front and rear wing damage, and I mean, Jaden had
apologies for that.
It's a shame for the drive-through, because I think it would have been a really good fight at the end, you know? So, shame that happened, and I mean, it worked out in the end for me. So, that's all I can really say.
Now, obviously, you've competed in many, many championships in your time here in your sim racing career, but have you ever found yourself sweeping and winning every single round?
Absolutely not. This is the first. I have about 7-8 years of sim racing experience, both on AC, F1 games, some other platforms, but never done something like this. So that's really cool. So I'll take it.
Well, take us through that. What does that mean to you in all those years, 8 years of sim racing, and being able to go through a championship that definitely was not a cakewalk for you? There were many times where you were battling at the very end, thinking that a race wasn't possible for a race win, but you managed to get it done. What does that mean to you personally?
Just means I can still do this. I might be getting older. I probably am on the far older side of people who sim race nowadays. I think. I mean, I'm 27. It's not that old when you think about it, but a lot of young people coming through, very quick people, especially AC and the F1 games. It was always, I had to use my experience, not necessarily the raw pace. So happy to be able to use that experience to deliver a sweep like this. So it's awesome. I can still do this.
Go celebrate it. Congratulations. The question looms, though, as our next championship for GT4 comes up. You joined us a year ago, and your first championship was in GT4. Will we see you return for another chance at it?
I know we talked earlier in the week about it. I really like the calendar. It really just comes down to when Nether League starts close to the same time as when we race here on Saturdays. So it really comes down to that. Calendar looks cool. I always love the more regional tracks. That would be really fun to try. I never considered myself all that good at GT4 cars, but hey, if I can make it, I'll try to make it.
Hopefully we can. But nonetheless, though, it concludes our time here in Open Wheel. Congratulations for a terrific championship campaign. 5 for 5 for you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Now let's move down to our driver who finishes second place. And what a fight it was trying to come up through the order. Do we have him in here? Oh, I don't think we do. Just double checking. No, we don't. So unfortunately, we're not going to get a word from Jaden Neal. So we're going to swap on over to our man who finishes in third place. And that is, of course, Nasseir. A great result here, especially in a race that potentially could have saw yourself out the podium with a lot of these other guys' pace. But once again, you're back on the podium. P3 for you. That's got to feel good.
Not really. Like, it was very scruffy race. Lots of bad luck for me. I had my screen go black twice. That ensued into 2 spins. The drive-through penalty was terrible. Both me and Jaden stopped at the first white line, but it was in fact the second one. That costed me quite a bit going through traffic and stuff, and yeah, could have been much better. Like P2 was definitely on the table, but it is what it is. It's still a podium. Not gonna linger too much on it. Looking forward to next championship. Just in case if you were speaking, I can't hear you.
Could you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
All right, perfect. Sorry, apologies for that. So, yeah, last time I talked to you in the Endurance Championship, when you were at complete high hopes and at the top of the world, you really put yourself, you put your name out there, and you're very excited for this one. May not have gotten your way coming towards the end of this championship. However, with the next one coming up in GT4, how do you feel about that one, knowing that in GT, at least the last time you raced in it, you were champion?
Much more confident in GT with Spirit Racing. We've been working quite hard already, like figuring out the setup and everything. So we're very confident about that one. Definitely aiming for winning the championship in that one. There's no doubts about that. That's the aim, but we know that there's other very fast people, such as Dominic, that will be there surely. He'll always be there somewhere around. Sven, Mike Van Dorn, of course, Cody if he shows up. So yeah, it's gonna be fought till the end like last time, but the aim is definitely to win it.
Well, nonetheless, though, congratulations. It's a tough championship, but all points are definitely going to go towards your playoff spot. And yeah, another one to go for you, and that's a lot of confidence there, so we hope it can turn into success. Congratulations for another podium here, and best of luck for the next one.
Thank you.
So that's going to do it here for this championship. Thank you so much to all our drivers here who've joined us for this one. I know we didn't have the biggest turnout like we did back in the previous two rounds, but this time we now begin a championship that our league knows very well. It is the 2025 edition of the Caribbean Motor Racing Championships. We've already put out the announcement that we are doing GT4, but in tradition, it's always been 2 championships that we do on the same weekend, hence why GT4 is an hour early. So, we're going to bring you the trailer now on stream to our drivers here for today's race who have to leave now. We hope we can see you next week out for the beginning of GT4 and for this new championship. Trailer on the stream. Thank you so much for an incredible 2000s Grand Prix Championship. It was an experiment with the F2004 with the success of the previous F1 series, and I would say it was a very successful one come to the end of it. Thank you so much once again for joining us, and we hope we can see your talent next week for the beginning of the next championship in Miami. And ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what that trailer is going to look at. Let's try to find it here on my screen, and let's find the right trailer to put up. Let's look at it right now. Enjoy. For the next championship, it's GT3 and a familiar favorite.
I'm ready for the competition. You don't take intimidation. Woman or man, we have no one. This is how we play the game. And we gon' represent and show them who we stand for. Let's turn it up and light the flame. Yeah. If you're not here to give it all, then what you here for? So get up and unite for your team. We'll give the best we've got. Hands up, right up, and play hard. We'll take it to the top. It's how we play. Every pitch, every part, every deal, every wicket, every score. And the art and soul and passion, and the culture, Caribbean blood. When playing, come out all nation. With the team in a unification. When the stadium from bleach at the grandstand, the meaning of beautification.
It's how we play.
Yeah, yeah.
The game is getting hotter. Take it now or never. Hit another 6, there's no way we can lose. This is who we are, what we live for. We can't get enough. So get up and unite for your team. Give the best we've got. Hands up, right up, and play hard. You take it to the top. It's how we play. It's how we play. This is how we play. Yeah.
Follow me then, follow me then.
It's how we play. Yeah.
Who do we have to do it?
It's how we play. This is how we play.
Who do we have to do it?
It's how we play. This is how we play. This is how we play. This is how we play.
How we play.
How you play.